Hello everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to download the Dolphin emulator and do some basic setup. For this you will need a program called 7zip, and I will link the page where you can download it in the description. Let's proceed to how to download and set up the Dolphin emulator. Okay, what you'll need to do is go to Dolphin emulator's official website. Link will be in the description. And when you're here you can see download and releases. I will download the latest stable release, which is 2506A at the time of this recording. I will download the Windows version, but if you have another operating system like Linux, you should download that. And also if you want, you could use the development versions, which has the very latest stuff. But for this video I will go and download Windows version. When you have downloaded the Dolphin emulator, put it on your desktop and extract it using 7zip. If you're on Windows 11 like me, you probably need to right click the Dolphin folder, left click more options, and 7zip extract to Dolphin 2506A. After you have extracted Dolphin, you need to create a folder where you will have your Wii and GameCube ROMs. I already have a folder called ROMs, because I already have Dolphin installed. I can't show you how to get the Wii and GameCube ROMs, but it's actually really easy, it's just one Google search away. And remember to check if the sites are safe before you download anything, because it's very easy to get viruses from those sites. I would recommend all Reddit threads that's on the subject. The next step after extracting Dolphin and creating a ROMs folder with all your ROMs is starting Dolphin. You will navigate to the Dolphin folder and then start Dolphin by clicking on Dolphin. When you have started Dolphin, you will see this screen. Dolphin could not find any GameCube or Wii ISOs or WADs. Double click here to set game directory. You will need to double click on the screen and navigate to your ROMs folder. Mine is on my desktop called ROMs. And then you just select folder and you will have your games here on a list or the grid. Now let's go over some settings. Firstly, just for customization, you can go to View and choose Grid Mode or List View. I use List View, but if you want to see the cover arts and stuff like that, you should use Grid View. And that goes to the next setting in configuration and interface. If you use Grid View, you should check the download game covers from gametdb.com to see the game covers, so you don't have a gray box every time you go into Grid View. And then we have on the user interface also, we have system language, or you could use the language you want. I use system. You can have a theme of your choice. I use clean pink often, but every other is also good. It's just customization for how you want it to look. Then you could have dark mode, light mode, or your system mode. And now we're practically done here. You could also go to audio paths and stuff like that if you want some extra customization, but I would say this is the basic stuff. And now when we have done that, we go to graphics and general. For the backend I recommend Vulkan, but also OpenGL and Direct3D 11 should work almost the same. If you have a little bit lower end PC, I would recommend OpenGL and Direct3D. And for adapter, you should choose your graphics card and not any other stuff that comes up here. I have an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 970. And for aspect ratio, you should choose whatever you want. It's not really that important. Some use 16:9 for free, but I usually keep it at auto. And for VSync, I recommend checking this box. Decreases performance if emulation speed is below 100%, but usually that is really good for reducing lag. If you want, you could start in full screen every game, but some people usually don't do that. But if you don't plan on recording or anything your games, I would recommend starting full screen. And for shader compilation, this right here is not very important, but shader compilation I would say is probably the next most important in general settings. I would recommend hybrid Uber shaders and compiled shaders before starting to reduce screen tear and lag. But otherwise, just use default. It should work, but for higher performance, I use hybrid Uber shaders and compiled shaders before starting. Now, when you have some basic settings, you should go and set up a controller. In this video, I will show you how to set up an emulated Wii remote, but there are some other videos out there that go more in depth on how to use, for example, Dolphin bars and real controllers. The first thing you need to check is if the emulate Wii Bluetooth adapter is checked. If it's not, then you check it, and if it's checked, then good for you. After that, you go to Wii Remote 1 and choose emulated Wii Remote, and then click configure. When you're here, you can select what controls you want to use for your emulated Wii Remote. And if you don't see what I see, then click on device and choose D input 0 keyboard mouse. Or if you want to use an Xbox controller, do X input 0 gamepad. Then you can map the buttons how you want. I choose JK12QE for the normal buttons, and for the D-pad I choose the arrow keys. For motion controls, you go to motion simulation and then X, Y, and Z. I use space button for everyone, so I can click space button as you hear, and then it shakes. And you can click on extensions and choose either none, nunchuck, and the others, depending on what game you want. You can make many profiles. I already have one called Tangent Board, and it's the one I use right here. If you want to make a profile, you just put in the name. We can choose test, and I want the buttons K, J, K, K, H, F, Q, E. And then we click save, and then we can load tangent board, and then we can load test. And then you have K, K, H, F, Q, E, and all your controls are saved. And if you want to delete one, you just get the profile up there and click delete. Are you sure that you want to delete test? This cannot be done. And if you want to delete, you click yes. And if you wanted to save it, you click no, or cancel what it said. Now you are done. You have successfully downloaded the Dolphin emulator and set up an emulated Wii remote. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video.